So, in most of the wedding videos or wedding photos that you look over in Instagram, most people look about the like the bridal look, the wow, the gorgeous thing everyone sees right there in the picture. But nobody really sees the planning or how much effort has gone into creating that look out of nowhere. So, hi, and I'm Ritubrita from the Handmade Wedding, and today I'm here to decode my bridal look from everything, like from the attire to the makeup to the jewelries and every little bits and emotional things which I planned to get this look into place. So, yeah, let's get started. And I have also noted down a few things so that I don't miss a bit. And maybe it helps you plan your look, or maybe your sister's look, or maybe your friend's bridal look. You can just help them a little bit out during their process. So, yeah, first thing which I'm going to discuss right now is and yeah, before starting anything, this video might be a little bit disorganized. As you can see, my background is disorganized. I didn't have much time to set everything up because this is what the maximum I could achieve after my 9 to 5 job. Yeah. So first thing which and I'll be looking a lot of down because I noted everything down here. So yeah, without any much further ado, let's get started. So why this look mattered so much to me now? Okay, like bridal look is very important for all the brides, and I was also a bride. Let's be very honest about that. And for me, it was not just about looking pretty or awesome or wow or gorgeous, but I just always wanted to dress up in such a way, like my bridal look would be in such a way that I would feel a lot like myself, more than just a bride who is dressing up in gorgeous attire. Because I was really hesitant about what this look would come up, very honestly, because I had my registry marriage, which is the legal marriage, around 1.5 years back, and honestly the makeup artist simply missed my look. And makeup is such a thing that can break or make your look. That is one thing, and also the attire and the jewelries, everything. So if I say that my engagement or the registry marriage look, it was not very well planned because I didn't have that much time or bandwidth to plan at that time. But for the bridal look, for my social marriage or the proper wedding look, if you say, then this look as I speak, I'll be definitely attaching some picture here, so you'll always see this picture so that it will be easy to reference like as I speak, that you can understand, right, what I'm trying to say. So yeah, this look really mattered to me. It was not just about looking gorgeous or just looking pretty, but just feeling authentically Bengali and a little bit grounded to my roots as well, and not just going with the trend, but to go a lot like myself. And you might hear some tingling sound of my bangles sometimes because I'm wearing some bangles. I just feel like wearing them when I like. So this covered like why this look mattered so much to me. The next thing is that jewelry. Now the jewelry is entire thing was golden. Okay, I didn't use any kind of kundan or pearl or polki. I didn't use that. I went simply for golden because and golden also the Bengal gold polish, and each of these pieces each of them they carry a very special thing for me. I'll explain. Now the choker which I'm wearing here, it's not exactly choker, it's not a necklace, it's somewhere in the middle. I just bought this piece around from my with my own money. First earned money, I bought this necklace in 2022, I guess. Yeah, 2022, and this was from PC Chandra Jewelers, and this was a piece which I bought for myself even long before I even had the thought of getting married, actually. So I loved the design the day I just went into the shop, and I had the budget. I had saved up a lot to buy this piece. Now the price of gold is like has hiked up so much. Maybe now I don't have the affordability rate to buy that necklace now. But at that time I had. So I got that necklace and I thought that okay, maybe it's my wedding. I can wear it as my neck piece. And then the longer necklace which I'm wearing is gifted by my grandmother, and yeah, it again, it's a blessing from my grandparent, and yeah, it's very special to me. And the earrings, the ear cuffs. So there's a very interesting story about the ear cuffs. 2 years back, me and my mother, we just went to a jewelry shop just for shopping during Dhanteras. It's a good omen to like to get things of gold into your house. So just for that purpose I went, and I was looking for some jhumkas, and I tried almost every jhumka which was present in the store. I didn't like it, and then the store guy, this is from Senko Gold. So the store guy, he said that okay, why don't you try these total ear cuffs? And I said that I don't know, maybe they won't suit me that much. They said that yeah, you just try it once, and then you can decide. I went forward, I tried it, and honestly I really loved it, because my earlobes are really broad enough, so it was sitting so beautifully here. It was not slipping. So they said that you have a big earlobe, so this piece will sit on the people with bigger earlobes, and I really loved it. Again, this was one of my self purchase, I would say. And the bangles on my hand, the two of those bangles were actually my grandmother's. So I didn't a year back, when my mother suggested that let's exchange this piece for a newer design, I said that no, it's not going to be that case, because I want to keep this piece and I want this to be a part of my wedding day. So I didn't exchange it. So yeah, the story of the bangles is pretty simple. It was mostly store bought. You can get it in any wedding jewelry stores. There are tons of them in India, in West Bengal, wherever you are watching and whenever you are watching from. Now, the striking thing which most people, appreciated me, or which took off their eyes, or whatever, it was the Matha Patti and the Matha Patti set which I was wearing, and it was covering my entire hair, starting from here, and it covered the entire this part, this head. Now the thing is that I have a really big forehead. Like if even if I place 4 fingers here, still I'll have some space left. You can understand how much it is. It's really big. So I really wanted that, just adding a tiara, which is like, if I put a tiara over here, it really becomes a bit messy. I didn't like it much. Okay, but I had a thought that okay, anyway I have to buy something for the head jewelry, and so I'll buy maybe 10 days before the wedding, or just before the wedding. I'll go to a shop and I'll buy whatever is I can. Now 2-3 months before the wedding, I went to a place, to a boutique, to shop for my brother's kurta, which I'll be gifting him to wear at the wedding. And so in that store there was also a boutique for the silver jewelry, and the silver jewelries which are also gold plated. So there was a collection this collection. And yeah, and some celebrity wore it. Some celebrity did a model shoot for that jewelry, and she was looking really awesome, and she had big forehead. And then I clicked the picture, I sent it to my makeup artist. My makeup artist was Pappu Mondol, and he is such a great person, he's such a great artist. As much as I appreciate him, it will be so less. And I'll leave all the contact details and everything in the description box below, or you can get in touch with me, comment down or whatever. I'll share his contact details. But yeah, I sent that picture of that piece of jewelry to him, that I don't know whether should I invest in this, because this is something which maybe you will wear only for a single time in your life. And investing some 10 to 15,000 on just this piece of jewelry, I didn't know whether I should go for. I had the budget, but again I was thinking over and over again. And then he suggested me that, see, now you can wear it as a mathapatti, and then later on you can make it like wear it as a necklace. You can get it changed because it's made of silver, so it's never going to be a waste, right? So yeah, you can go for that. I saw some confidence in him, and then I just went forward to buy that piece. So yeah, like and the moment my makeup artist, he put that piece on my head, I was like, wow, like I was simply spellbound. Like he portrayed such a beautiful angle of me, which even I didn't see I ever had. So, and regarding my bridal look, right? People go over Pinterest boards. People go over what to say. So many makeup artists walks that, okay, this person did this type of look on this bride. Maybe I should go for this. He did maybe some puffed hairstyle or something on this bride, so maybe I should go for this. And honestly, I didn't plan for anything. I just completely left to the hands of the artist, and I think I did a very decent thing to do that, because honestly, if a real artist, he knows, or he or she knows what looks good on me, or what can look good on me, and what might look a bit awkward, because every bride is unique, no bride is same, no face is same, and I believe that so much. So the day I booked him for my wedding days, I just met him. He just said that, okay, so what kind of look do you need, or any preferences? Then I said that, yeah, whatever you wish, we can speak about that later on. And till my bridal day, we didn't have any conversation, because I didn't have any Pinterest mood boards in my head. I didn't have it. And the moment I was very exhausted at the time of makeup, because it was, Bengali weddings are a rush, because they have the haldi in the morning, and then the wedding is in the evening. So by like post lunch, you definitely have to sit for the makeup. And I was so exhausted, and he started doing my base and everything. So I just asked him, okay, Bapuda, what are you going to do today? I'll just see the magic. I just don't need anything else. I don't want to see the mirror. And he said that, no, okay, you will not see the mirror until I'm done with everything. You just stay your eyes closed, relax yourselves, and let yourself get pampered. And he was such an amazing person. And the moment I opened my eyes to see the eye work and everything he did, I was like, wow. And I felt like, the Sabyasachi models you see in the Instagram and everything, they have really cold, smoky eyes, and they look so gorgeous. Like I am a person from the dusky skin tone family. And even the dusky skin tone models, they look so gorgeous, like they represent so much of their own skin, they're themselves, and they portray the attire so very good. I always felt a bit of more inclination towards that kind of look. But I couldn't think in my dream also that okay, Papuda was going to give me such a great look for myself on my big day. And then I told that okay, I understood that he was kind of doing a bit of smoky eyes because he was using gel liners in the inner lining of my eyes, because in smoky eyes even a piece of gap can't be, you know, it can't be there. Everything should be jet black in the water lining and everything. So I got a glimpse that okay, he's kind of doing this thing, but not very much of a detail. So I'm going to speak about the makeup details in a separate video, but yeah, and this was the makeup. And then comes the attire. Now attire, I have searched so many shops to get my wedding attire, which attire would look good on me. Will it be red Banarasi sari or maroon Banarasi sari, or it will be something different from the rest, or Jardosi Banarasi. I went quite a lot of stores, I searched for them, and at some point I was like, okay, I don't know what to select, maybe I'll select anything that comes up. So I got married on July 2025. In August 2024, I was just scrolling through Instagram, just like normal person does, and then there is a designer called Abhijit Das, and he released his collection named Mugdha. Now, for my wedding attire, I wanted something which when I wear it, I would feel a lot like myself, not just draped in so much luxury, so much colors, and way too much heavy. I didn't want that. People like that, but I wanted something very simple yet elegant. That was and very traditional. Tradition was something I wanted definitely to be in my attire. Now I just went through the collection Mugdha, and the Mugdha collection was like so gorgeous. The bride was wearing a pure Katan silk in the color dark maroonish red, and the blouse was embroidered with a lotus motif on the side and all over the embroidery works. And the veil, generally the veil is of a net material, but this veil, it was golden red, tissue fabric material with embroideries, and the entire look was looking so gorgeous. At that moment I spoke to Abhijit, and he was a really good person again, and he accommodated the change. He just asked me that okay, you can choose the design later on when I deliver. Before that, I'll show you what motif you actually want on the sari. And I said very clearly that on the body I don't work much work, but I want it to be really elegant and simple, not too much. That was my criteria. And again, I like that collection so much, I booked it. And with that, and honestly I didn't do mehendi on both sides of my hand, only this side and this side. I had the mehendi, I didn't have it on both sides because honestly I didn't like it to be on this side and covering everything on the upper side as well. So I think these are the parts of my wedding attire. Let me see if I have covered everything, because makeup preferences I have covered. Then hair, one thing I forgot covering, and I think I can cover it in the makeup video as well. I did a very sleek bun, like Papu, the makeup artist, he did a very sleek bun, because sleek bun is something which I wear always. In general, I don't keep my hair open this often. Now I'm shooting a video, that's why I've kept a hair open, but generally I don't do that. And slick bun is something which I'm doing it for years casually, and he did it, and yeah, it was nice. Now everything together came together so nicely. I'm so grateful to God it came together. I think yeah, and definitely one thing I would like mentioning, that I have so much faith in God, and I think most people do. At least, if not a specific God, but definitely to the Almighty, to the universe, that some person is there, or someone is there up there, just blessing us with whatever we are doing in our lives. And the makeup artist, or Papuda, while starting his work, or even when I was sitting for makeup, we just prayed God that okay, yeah, let this work be done good. And then he started the work, and when this came up, I was like, okay, this is something I was looking forward to. Maybe I wasn't even looking forward to it, just came up, it just flowed. So yeah, I'm little emotional when I'm speaking about this, because there are bits and pieces which I arranged with my own hands, that okay, this is something which I need to incorporate, this is something which I need to add in. And the photography team, the makeup artist team, they really helped me out in coordinating so many things, like the mukut, which is the head crown that a Bengali bride wears during the wedding, and I'm also wearing. It's different from the normal thing which you find in the market. It is also so beautifully crafted by a person named Ankur Ghosh, and he also did a terrible job in great job, great, terrible, terrifying job. My God. I'm also getting goosebumps right now, because it has been few months from my wedding, and recalling all those memories again of planning is really making me emotional. So, with that, this video comes to an end. Hope you liked my bridal look, and hope you liked my bridal planning. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you have anything to say, anything you want to ask, you can write in the comment section down below. I'll be so happy to answer all of those questions. Yeah, till the next time we meet. And yeah, we have started a series called the Decode My Wedding Photo, so where I share about one each photo of my wedding, and I tell what are the behind the scenes, what was the mood during that time, and how that picture came into picture. So till the next time we meet, bye, have a good day, stay safe, and yeah, we meet again.